Hi, I'm Kim,
And I'm Pancho,
and this is Now That You See It,
the show about the ideas hiding in plain sight,
the patterns underneath the patterns.
the stuff that quietly runs your life,
These are the conversations you can't stop thinking about
and that you can't wait to send to a friend.
because once you see it,
You can't unsee it.
all
Hey,
right.
everyone. So
It's
we're doing another shortisode.
hot shortisode summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or as you said, it's punchy o'clock. Um, it's punchy o'clock.
God damn, I'm funny. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
we're doing
It is punchy
AI.
o'clock.
AI loves punchy o'clock, by the way. Like
Yeah.
there have been multiple times someone who wants to be on the episode used AI to write us an email pitching why he should be on the podcast. And the AI that wrote the email for him specifically called out punchy o'clock in 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 his pitch. So AI loves punchy o'clock. Anyway, we're doing a quick one. We're gonna try to keep it to 15 minutes. We're probably gonna go over the theme on this episode is each of us is bringing 5 ways to get unstuck. So we're not going to do the big lead in. We're not going to tell you to, well, we're going to very briefly tell you to like, subscribe, leave a review, share it with your friends, help us win. Um, And yeah, Kim, take it away. What are your five ways
Yeah.
to get out
Join
of a
us on
rut?
maybe we should call
Oh,
these all punchy o'clocks. That's the new episode title.
okay,
Okay.
I'm game.
My first one, when you're stuck in a rut or just like stuck, which honestly is one of the most common reasons people come to coaching is I just feel
Mm,
stuck. And like we could go into the whole like emotional experience that you're avoiding, but the fact is people feel stuck. How do you get out of stuck? It's not brain science or not neuroscience, but my number one way is to go talk to or experience other things. Like go talk to people outside of your circle, go sort of like marinate in some sort of soup of experience that you're not used to. Just go
mm,
like take a walk in a new place, do something new. This is why people when they're on vacation are like, whoa, oh my God. So there's a bunch more that we'll get to, but that one is reliably the thing that like literally because you're in a rut, you have to force yourself to get out of a rut, talk to somebody new, have a new experience. It can be super small. Experiment with that, but like pay attention to the new insights, new ideas, new experiences, new feelings you have when doing that. That will start to like get a new perspective on this thing that you might be in a rut about. That's mine.
cool.
What's yours? What's your number one?
All right. I'm gonna say I had this on my list as well. Mine was slightly different, but
Oh
for
yeah.
me, what I wrote was notice what happens when you put yourself in a different context and environment.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And the idea is like put yourself in a place where you can't be in that rut anymore.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like, so if your rut is like, I do the same thing 5 days a week, like travel for a week and
Oh
notice what happens when you're in a different place and you can't like go about the same habits. You can't talk to the same people. You can't do the same things. Um, and that's not sustainable. Like you can't go back home and then just pretend like it's an unfamiliar environment with unfamiliar people. But Martha Beck actually kind of shares an alternative to this, and you can maybe blend the two together, which is notice what would feel like taking the shackles off or taking the handcuffs off
Oh yeah.
at the level of your body. Like what is something that I can do or that I can vision myself doing where it feels like the handcuffs come off?
Mm,
And it can be one small thing, like, go do that.
yeah.
Just, like, make
I
sure
love
you
that.
get that worked into your schedule on a regular basis, and then once you've gotten that, then you can find another thing that feels the same way, and you go do that, and so you're slowly building things into your life that kind of mechanically force you to not be in that rut.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a big one. So mine was like go talk to other people, like don't get
Mm,
in an echo chamber, and yours is like go be in something else, exist elsewhere, exist where the rut can't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Force it into a little bit of discomfort. Okay.
Mhm.
My next one is sometimes stuck feels like low inertia, like you can't, or like startup momentum, like you just cannot get going. I find that, like, as much as there's the advice about eat the frog and do the hard thing first and do the hardest thing first thing in the morning, that a lot of people need a warm up task that's fun or easy and or easy. They don't
Mm.
have to always be fun in order to like feel the momentum of productivity happening. And then like all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, I do actually want to like start outlining that chapter of that, like that book that I was thinking about writing, or I do actually want to start that deck that like I don't really understand what they want, but I'm really supposed to do this by Friday. And like, I don't even
Yeah.
know where to begin. Like, I am stuck. But sometimes I found that like getting into the context of a warm up task can unramp you easier, which flies in
Uh-huh.
the face of much of the advice around productivity, which is like, just do that hard thing first. Like, just do the deck
Mhm.
first. And I don't know, for me, like, I need to warm into things before I like go. That's one. What's
Mm.
your number two?
Yeah. Yeah, kind of like a do the hard thing icebreaker.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah,
I need to warm up. Yeah.
totally. Okay. So another one for me, this one's more internal. It's less practical, but it leads to really practical results. And it's to identify what the story is that you're telling yourself about being in a rut or being stuck,
Oh, yeah.
and then do Byron Katie's work on it. So that like a really obvious and clear story is I'm stuck. I can't get myself out of this. And so if that's the story, then going through Byron Katie's 4 questions, like 1, is that true? And then 2, how can you be absolutely sure that it's true?
Yeah.
And then 3, how do you react or what happens in your body when you believe that story, the story
Oh,
that I am stuck? And then 4, who would you be without that story? And then
yeah.
there's the opportunity to do the turnaround, what she calls the turnaround, which is to reflect on what happens if you hold a different story that is somehow the opposite as true, and to notice like what that does intellectually, what it does physically, emotionally. So notice what it feels like to hold the story I am unstuck, or notice what it feels like to hold the story everyone is stuck, or notice, instead of saying I am stuck, what it feels like to say stuck is me, even though it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of nonsensical, right? So, so talking about it, if it sounds kind of like, okay, this is dumb, but if you actually sit down and journal and work through those 4 questions, you're going to get a lot of value. It's going to give you some like really important insights to work with about how you relate with the story of being stuck.
Yeah. I love that. The story of stuck, because I mean, it really can become our identity. Like, how many times once you're stuck are you like, I'm just stuck. I just don't know. I just like feel stuck in the mud. And then you're just
Yeah.
like, I am stuck. I am that person. It becomes itself.
And yeah, like if you hold that story, then you become stuck in stuckness. It's like second degree stuckness.
Mm.
Yeah.
Should be. Okay, my next one, my number three, is a bias to action.
Huh.
And I will say that as somebody who doesn't have a bias to action. So this like may be the opposite. If you're like, oh no, baby, I am all motor, no rudder, then like hold your fire. You may need to read more books. I, on the other hand, read too many books and love to just keep reading the books about the things that ideally I should be doing and not actually practicing it. So I need to like get some taste and flavor of like what it feels like to put this into practice and like
Yeah.
meet the mess of the real world and be like, oh, that was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, even though on paper it's really simple. And like, I don't know if you've ever had this experience of, you read a book about the same topic over and you're like, I totally know this. This is like skip, 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 skip. And then you get into the situation, you're like, what was that thing again? I skipped over. So I know that my body learns best by like the combination of, and really it's like just body stuff, the combination of like living the experience and reading about it and sort of going back and forth and reflecting and da. And then I am so much less likely to take the action and try it than I am to read multiple books about the topic and write about it and like, as opposed to practice it. So that's mine. Just get muddy, get messy.
Yeah, yeah, just, like, notice your pattern. If your pattern is to over prepare and never act, then you gotta start acting.
Yeah. Versus
Yeah.
the opposite. Yeah.
Or the opposite, right? If you under prepare and go straight to action, then, yeah, obviously, you're not gonna get far if you don't prepare well.
Yeah. Because you're just going to be
Okay.
stuck like,
Totally.
so we need
Yeah,
more rudder. Yeah.
totally. Okay. Um, so my number 3 is similar, but it's different, and I'm drawing from the work of 2 people on this one. This is the Joe Hudson cameo moment for this episode. Um, but number 3 is notice if it's your relationship with your emotions that's keeping you stuck
Oh,
in this
yeah.
rut. So the first one is actually not Joe Hudson. I think this is probably the thing that happens that's more relevant or prevalent is Mark Manson talks about how a lot of people won't start doing a thing until they feel like it, until they feel like they have the motivation. Um, and he's like, no, like that's not how it works. The one liner takeaways a lot of the time action breeds motivation, not the other way around. So you have to go do the thing before you start feeling motivated to do it. A great example of that is that like 5:30 a.m. morning run. You don't feel like getting out of bed at 5 o'clock. You don't feel like doing all the things that get you out the door to start running. But the like 3 minutes into your morning run at 5:30, you are so psyched on the fact that you're out running. And the more you do that repeatedly, the less the like resistance is, and the more the motivation just carries over from the last time you did it. Um, but the thing that underlies that is people prioritize feeling good. And if they
Oh,
don't feel good, they don't want to do the thing.
yeah.
Right. And so if you don't feel good and you don't feel motivated, you don't do it. And noticing if you are somebody who won't do something unless it feels good, like that's gonna be an anchor that keeps you stuck in a lot of ways. So
Yeah.
instead of prioritizing feeling good before doing the thing, notice that you may have to do the thing before you start feeling good about it. So
Yes. Yes. Sorry, go
so
ahead.
that's
Yeah.
one. Emotions. And then the other one, Joe Hudson, and the the bottom line is a lot of people don't want to deal with the emotional consequences of doing something uncomfortable. So they'll keep themselves intellectually stuck, like ruminating and thinking about how would I do it if I were to do it, and what if I'm not ready, and blah blah blah. But really, what they're avoiding is an emotional experience.
Yeah.
And until they recognize that they're going to have to deal with a shitty emotional experience as part of getting started and actually taking action, that's going to keep them stuck.
Yeah. So there's like writer's block stuck of like, I don't know what to do for this project, for this deck, this book, this article, this like deliverable. How do I frame this? The fog. And then there's the emotional stuckness of like, I don't know where to go next. What is the
Yeah,
job? What is the career? What is the situation I need to be in? And I think what you're saying is like a lot of the times in that latter category, you know the answer, you just don't want it. Or you don't want the emotional experience that goes along with it.
totally. Yeah, like
Yeah.
even though it's the good outcome you want, you recognize that that good outcome is going to come with a lot of challenge and struggle, and you don't want to deal with that challenge and struggle. So then you don't go after that outcome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, my fourth one is for that first category I was talking about when you're like, I don't know what to write. And I don't know if you've ever had this experience where it's just like tons of ideas, nothing makes sense. You're in the like really messy, beautiful mind movie moment of like, how do I organize it? How do I tell the story? How do I like get unstuck from, or even you don't even have a lot, you just like don't know what to do. Your
totally.
writer's blocked or like deliverable blocked, whatever it is. Um, I put some sort of constraint on myself and I'm like, make it in 3 slides or put it on a whiteboard, go analog. literally, I'll like be like, "Hey, can you come here to my kids?" And be like, "I'm gonna tell you something. Does this make sense?" And I'll tell them the story, and they'll be like, "No." Like, "Let me try it again." And then about the third time, they're like, I'm out." But
Yeah.
also they're like, "Yeah, yeah, you got it, you got it, you got it."
Yeah.
So tell it to somebody, who's younger than you. Tell somebody who doesn't know about, like, the business. But that's my one, is put some constraint on yourself and then try again.
Huh.
I find freedom in constraints.
Totally. No, yeah, it
Yeah.
helps your brain get specific about what it should try. Totally.
Yeah.
Cool. Fourth one for me. Notice all the ways you're not stuck.
Oh, I like
So
that one.
so the specifically the way you can do this is take a sheet of paper and then draw a pizza on it
Mm.
and then divide it out into 8 pizza slices. And in each pizza slice, you write down something that you could do that contradicts the story of being stuck. It doesn't need to be realistic. It doesn't need to be a thing you actually want to do. It doesn't need to be a thing like there are things where people are like, oh, yeah, I could do that, but I would never do that because I don't want to lose my income or I don't want to lose my relationship. Sure, those are all valid for the purpose of this exercise. Those yeah buts don't have a seat at the table. Just write down 8 things you could put, like 8 things, one in each pizza slice, just to help your brain get out of that like stuck mode of there's nothing available for me to do here and that's why I'm in a rut. And notice if any of those things are actually feasible or things that you want to like run a small experiment on.
Oh, I love that.
So,
Yeah,
yeah, number 4.
good. My number 5 is, hold on. I had it. What was it? What was it? Oh, my number 5 is, ask somebody what you're missing. Like, what's my blind spot? What's the piece of information I'm not letting myself see?
Yeah.
What pattern am I repeating? Like, how could this be easier? How could this be more fun? Like, why am I making this so hard? What is it that I'm missing that sometimes other people see? This is different from the like go talk to other people. That's just like go chat, go exist, go be. This is like specifically another person who knows you well, but isn't doing the thing with you, isn't like
Yeah.
stuck with you.
Mhm.
What are you missing? Like, what are my
Yeah.
blind spots? I need them. Yeah.
Go talk
What
to the
about you?
coach.
What? Yeah, I'm going to coach.
Yeah.
Signs
Hint,
up.
hint, hint.
I know. We're super fun.
uh, cool.
Great blind spot spotters.
Yeah.
Hmm. How about
Cool.
you? What's your 5?
Yeah. My last one is to clean up your act. And to clean it up one thing at a time, one habit at a time, one thing at a time, as opposed to trying to like overhaul your entire life over the course of a weekend because that never sticks. It's too much for, like your nervous system wants stability and resists change. Um, but if you are doing a ton of things that drain your emotional energy, that steal your focus, that help you procrastinate,
Oh, that's a great one.
that
Yeah.
that don't allow you to operate kind of at your, like at peak capacity, it's going to be harder to get out of the rut because you've got all of
Yeah.
this stuff that's like, it's like clogging your system. So it can be a bunch of different things. You can start meditating.
Hmm.
Meditation legitimately changes the way I use my brain.
Hmm.
And it's a small but very noticeable effect for me. Same with doing yoga, exercising in the morning so that you're running on endorphins all day, cleaning up your diet, cleaning up your sleep schedule, like cutting out screens 2 hours before you go to sleep, not playing video games anymore, not drinking, or maybe not drinking on weekdays. Like there are so many different things someone can experiment with to clean up their act and then just go one by one. Do one small
Yeah.
thing, get that in place, add another small thing, get that in place. And even though it's not directly addressing the stuckness, it's going to
It gives you
legitimately,
capacity. Yeah.
it
To
changes the
change it.
person you are. You're a different
Mm.
person. You're a more capable individual. So
Yeah.
yeah, clean up your act.
Love that one. Okay. We did it
Cool.
under 20 minutes
All right,
so far.
under 20 minutes.
We
Shortisode
better
high
wrap.
five.
Okay.
High five. Peace out.
Bye.